that you all sat at the back. So, I'd like to introduce you to Nick Canty, who is from the University of Creative Arts. Over to you, Nick. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Jenny. Thank you. So I'm here to talk about our undergraduate degree in digital marketing and social media, and I am from the University of the Creative Arts. So we have lots of applications from your college and the university. If you don't know, we are the #1 specialist creative university in the UK. We've had a lot of creative industries and programs over many decades at the university, and we brought them together in the business school in the last 5 years. So I come from the business school for the creative industries at UCA. These are some of our undergraduate courses, just to give you an idea of what else we teach. So I'm talking about digital marketing, but we also talk about fashion branding and communication, the music business, events and festivals, so understanding how you run events, and then a business and management undergraduate degree as well. So across all of this, we have people who've come from the industry, so my colleagues are photographers, fashion journalists, stylists, filmmakers, marketing people, and so on. So it's a very nice creative atmosphere that we have in the office, and we hope that comes through in our teaching as well. So, TikTok, any fans? Just the 5 of you? Instagram? Oh, more? Okay, that's good. That's good. So we talk about all of these, and it's fine to like them and to use them, of course. We teach across all of the platforms. It's about how you use the platforms, what they're used for in the marketing environment. That's what we're really interested in. So that's an old one, of course. It's got Twitter, but I still like calling it Twitter. In terms of what we teach on the program itself, I'll go through this now, and I'll go through by year. So it's a 3-year course, so you have a flavour of what we teach on the modules. Just first of all, to set the scene. Why would you study social media and digital marketing? It's booming. I've got some articles I just clipped yesterday coming down. I was looking around here. So people are looking for people with marketing skills and social media skills. There's an article there from Forbes. Yes, it's American, but it shows you that this is a big sector. People are very excited about getting people working in this area. And of course, it's industry agnostic. Once you have the skills, you can apply them in any sector that you want to. They're transferable skills. So it's a good time to be thinking about social media and digital marketing. Principles, of course, what we do, I mean, it's practice-led and professionally contextual. So we want to try to create a situation that you would encounter in the work environment. So we have an employment focus. The point of getting people on the course is that you want to get a job at the end of it, and that's what we want you to do as well. Before joining UCA, I worked for another creative course, and it's the same point. It's about getting students on who want to get into the industry. That's what success looks like for us. So we're very employment focused. In terms of what we teach, what does sort of the year look like? So we think everyone just starts off knowing the principles of marketing. Some of you may have that now, you may be studying marketing, but we think you should have a good dose of that. So we teach you about the principles of marketing. We also put together a social media campaign, which is the unit that I'm leading right now. And then we look at brand logo and design. So one of my colleagues is an art director. He used to work in the advertising industry. So this is a great unit looking at how you design the visual identity for a brand. It all comes down to audiences, so understanding who you are posting for, who's following you, who you want to reach out to. So understanding the audiences and the consumer behaviour and the consumer journey across platforms is a really important part of this as well. So understanding how people find you, either on social media or through searches, and then go to your website. So tracking that is about the consumer journey. It's an important part of what this is we're trying to teach you. And at the end of year one, you have an industry project. So you have a practical project where you start thinking about what you might be doing in the work environment as well. So that's year one. So really the basics of understanding how the industry works, platforms. Year two, we get a bit more specialist. We start talking about content creation in a bit more detail. Now, some of you are creating content today, and you have technical skills already, and we want to enhance those as well. So we're looking at platforms, how you create content, what's appropriate for those platforms. And then this is a new unit on storytelling and narrative. So brands nowadays always want to tell stories. So it's about understanding how you can put a story together around a brand or a company or even an industry and talk about it meaningfully. And then do that across different platforms, understand what digital assets you might need as well. Another new unit is looking at influencers as well. So understanding influencers on social media, but also how people self-brand on platforms as well, so how people present themselves on digital media. So this is a very important point because it's understanding what influencers are doing and how we behave on social media platforms as well. So year two is a bit more detail on some of these issues, whereas year three is really, the focus is on your final year project. So you do a degree project module that runs over both terms, and we teach you about research methods, ethics of doing research, thinking about how to put your project together. But we also teach you about ethics in society, because we're talking about social media and data, and there's lots of ethical issues around this. And then we have another unit on creative enterprise and engagement. So the focus is very much on getting your project ready, which you present and, well, deliver in the summer. So that's how the year looks. So we revalidated the course last year. This is all new. So these 3 years are all new and relevant, we think, for the year. We also offer a professional practice year. So if you wanted to do a year in industry or a year abroad, you can do that after your second year. So that's an option. So it gives you some more skills. You could work in industry. And perhaps enhance your CV as well. And likewise, there's a chance to study abroad if you wanted to do so as well. So you can make this a 4-year program, working industry, or going abroad with partner universities as well. So that's another option. Just to give you an idea of how what teaching looks like. So this is university, and we have lectures, but it's not people standing behind a lectern talking at you for a couple of hours. We have group work and exercises, working in teams, throughout this. So we want these to be interactive sessions, because that's what the world of work is as well. So we also have trips as well, we take students on. So it's probably not dissimilar to the way you're working here actually. So it's lots of group work, questions, debates, discussions as we move on through the units. I'll come back to conferences in a minute. Some of the ways that we think we enhance employability: we get outside speakers in. I think it's essential to hear from people who are doing the job. So one of the reasons to come to university, it's not just about gaining knowledge, it's understanding how networks operate. So the people in the industry, thought leaders, the associations, and all these networks. So putting you in touch with these people, getting them in so you can see them, I think is a really important part of going to university and the value of it. We do have live project briefs where real life clients ask students to do some work. We're always looking for those. Study abroad placement I've mentioned. Academic underpinning. Yes, it's university degree, we're not training, so it is academically rigorous as well. And hopefully this helps your personal development and your career and planning and what you want to do afterwards. Like I said, success for us is people completing and then getting jobs in the industry. That's what we want to do. That's our pipeline. In terms of career routes, these are just some trends and some job titles that might be interesting for you. So, content strategist, digital marketing manager, social media coordinator or assistant, sort of entry-level job, and then going up to digital marketing director or content director as well. And these can be applied to any industry, whether you work in the charity sector or fashion, food industry, it doesn't matter. The skills are transferable. That's the point I want to make. In terms of assessments, we have moved away from exams, we've moved away from essays. So assessments nowadays look something a bit like this, really. We might ask students to do a 20-slide presentation on a subject. So very visual, text fairly light, lots of visual prompts as well, but reference as well. That means about the academic references, but people put them in as well. I have got that on this example. So we look for people to do the research around a topic to support their arguments. We have presentations as well that we use as assessments, and then the project for the final piece of work as well. So this is a sort of typical piece of work, but it could be an infographic, it could be a social media campaign that you put together, but I think this hopefully gives an idea of what we do. So creative work. I just put this in these next two slides because this is just some of the resources, and a lot about social media, it's about you're looking forward. So we have trend and forecasting databases, which you may be familiar with, but this is one called LSN Global, and it's great for looking forward on what different generations are going to be doing in the future, what different industry sectors. And then the other one is WGSN. So, section there on brand strategy and anime, just for example, luxury campaign trends for autumn winter next year. So these things are they're just great resources. So we work quite closely with the School of Fashion, which is also on our campus in Epsom. So having this link with a different school means that we get this great view sometimes on different trends and things that are coming up. I've just put down here about the entry requirements, which should be familiar to you as well in terms of the terminology here. So 112 litres 10 points. A foundation level, we teach foundation as well, or the extended diploma. Some examples of student work down, so creative workshops, students having great fun with that one. This is one that we ran the other week on our first year digital marketing. We've got students to make zines. If anyone's familiar with them, they are handmade, small circulation publications, really rooted in marginalised communities and people wanting to spread the word around small communities. And students were doing this as a formative exercise. So they had to put a social media campaign together for their summative assessment, taking your brand, and then what you produce. Are you talking about the values, the industry, what the company represents? So there's a process of thinking here by doing in this example. Other examples, this was a student final year project, so it's about sustainability. This was an app about pets and mental health. Students don't make the app, they put down the concept. So they research the market, justify the product, and then design the layout and the structure of the app. That's quite nice. This is another one a few years ago. This was just some places where we've had student partnerships for the last 2 years across all of those different programs, I should say though, for people going out on placement. We're based at Epsom in Surrey. This is our building here. This is Epsom, if you don't know. So we're in the M25. We don't pretend to be, we're not London, we're London adjacent. We're half an hour by train from London, somewhere close. We're a small campus, very friendly and safe, which is what students tell us is how we're going to be very proud about this and not saying that we're London. We're not London. We're outside London in a nice suburb. And that's an overview of where we are. So it's the library, business school, and the old-fashioned block, so a fairly small campus. I mentioned we have other ways of learning for students. We have an annual awards program, so student work. So every year we have a grad show. That's students from a couple of years ago. And then we have the lecture series, so we have conferences. We get people from industry talking either on campus or doing it remotely, talking about different aspects of their work. So these are Business School Insights series. So this is a regular feature now. The Careers and Professional Practice department is very important to us to help students get their careers ready. So there's a big focus on this. I'm coming up to 1:30. And then just to say, we've just opened a new building for the fashion, School of Fashion, which doesn't render very well in this picture, but it's a whole new building in Epsom, and we reuse these facilities as well, so that's great. So really, it's sort of over, you know, what do you want to do, what do you want to be? These are some of the things you can do, but there's many more. So, thank you. Any questions? Or do you want to wait until I...
These guys are all actually working on a social media campaign at the moment. I think most of them anyway, if not all of them.
Great.
Do you think we could exploit your expertise just for a minute, for the last 5 minutes, to get some tips, thinking about those current trends in using social media to market a campaign? Have you got any sort of headline tips on how you go about that?
You're using content pillars?
We haven't used that terminology. That's a good one. Maybe you could explain that.
Content pillars, so just thinking about what people are going to be, what your brand or your company is going to be known for. So people always go to you and expect that content. So if you're going to be informative or entertaining or inspirational. So content hubs is a great way of thinking about just organising what you do and really focusing on that content and trying to stick with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
A lot of the UCA subjects they need a portfolio to apply to. Is that the same for?
They may do, and you may have seen that from the other courses. So the other creative industries we do, which are fine art or photography, they may do, but we don't. You don't have to put a portfolio together for us. For any of the business school, actually. So you might have seen it from other programs.
It varies from person to person but a lot of people believe that AI shouldn't be used in creative industries, and honestly I don't have a main stance on it currently in the way it's being created and funded, but what would you say your opinion is on AI being in the creative industry?
Great question. So just last week, I got the students to use, so with AI, we are embracing it, we're walking into it, we can't ignore it. And I wanted the students to basically come up with an entire company and the visual identity for a new brand using only AI tools. And what they came up with was, I mean, this is great work because some put music together, they try to create adverts, but a lot of the imagery is just very generic. And at the moment, I just think it's great for sort of low-level administrative jobs, I think, at the moment, and giving people ideas, but I don't think it's nowhere near ready for anything which is going to be customer-facing. But we embrace it, we have to. So it's there, it's going to be part of our lives. But yes, but it's really quite, it's very obvious, isn't it, when you see something there?
Yes. Yeah. Anybody else got any questions for me?
I'll leave you the slides anyway, so you can have them.
Thank you. All right, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.